Hello Internet, it's Olivier. Today I'm going to show you two things. One, how to do this polished concrete effect using paint, and two, how to use a Venetian plaster trowel. That's if my dog lets me do this voiceover, because I've got a peanut butter toast and he wants it. But anyway, if you're fighting in the background, that's what's happening. So this one is a 200mm or 8-inch, and it's soft. So basically it's very bendy, unlike a plaster trowel. And it's brilliant for this type of effects. You can use it obviously with plaster, Venetian plaster, and in this case with paint. I like using paint as opposed to Venetian plaster because it's readily available to get paint. Venetian plaster is super expensive, super hard sometimes to get in. Even in London, you have to wait and all that. So I like using this sort of technique. So the way you want to do it is you lift it slightly and then you go from side to side. As you can see, this is just slightly lifted, and so the left side is touching, and then now the right side is touching, and the left side is touching. But as you can see, I just nicked the paint there, so you have to keep it really flat when you're doing this. As you use this, you're going to get a lot more comfortable and quicker every time. Quick note. Between each step, I'm going to use a hairdryer to speed things up and make sure everything is really dry. Otherwise, you always mixing the color between the first and the second step and so on. So even if you don't see in this video, assume that everything's got like a hairdryer in between. Because this is a small sample, I'm using a brush. It doesn't look great, but it's just fine for this demo. But normally what I do is I use a glue dispenser, or you could use just a plastic bottle, and I put my paint in there, and it allows me to be quick. You can see this line there in the as I've trailed it. There's a line. This is when you've got dry paint or any kind of dust or whatever. When that happens, you want to clear it straight away. By the way, the video is paused. Don't worry. In this case, I managed to just apply it further, and then it sort of went away. But in most cases, you want to stop and get rid of that dry paint. Otherwise, it's just going to drive you crazy. So now I'm applying a darker coat. And the reason I started on this dark brown background, which was a rust effect, which is going to come soon, is to show you, first of all, you don't have to always use a brush. And also, if you go with the spatula straight away, you get a really smooth finish. So there it's not perfect, but because I'm going to put more layers, it's going to get smoother and smoother. And just like concrete, it's never, like polished concrete is never 100% smooth. There's always a few nicks or whatever. So it adds to the realism. You can also make it super smooth if you want, but you don't have to. In this case, I'm putting a bit of water, and that helps the spatula or the Venetian plaster trowel glide a lot better. So I'm just applying some water. When you do that, it will remove some of the water, some of the paint, and make it quite shallow. That's a really good thing when you're doing like a concrete effect. In this case, it's dry now, but you can see it's a bit darker. That's a bit of a close-up. And so I'm going to show you two things. I'm going to show you afterwards if you want to put more white or like a light gray, to make something a bit lighter, or you can just stop there and then burnish it. So in this case, let's say that's finished. You can use a wax. So this is beeswax. You can get it, it's very affordable. A small pot like this will run you about £5 only. The only thing is, because it's beeswax, it turns a little bit yellow. You can get different waxes that are see-through or like milky, or you could adjust your work thinking that it's going to get a bit yellow afterwards. It's up to you. When I do my gray, the gray you saw me at the beginning I always put a bit of brown or yellow or something, because concrete is never really just black and white. It looks too blue. So if you put a bit of brown, it looks quite cool. And this is what it looks like just applying the beeswax. You can see a few defects there. Just adds to the realism, I think. And then now what I'm doing is I'm using my orbital sander, my palm sander, with a buffing wheel attached to it. And that gives you an effect that's even more shiny. Doesn't really show in the camera so much, but it looked really shiny. Okay, so now You wouldn't want to do this step obviously over the wax, but it's just to show you what it could look like if it's a bit lighter. So all I've done is done exactly the same steps with the white, with the water and so on, just to make it a bit lighter. This is a small panel, but if you do a full wall, you would want to get different tones, otherwise it wouldn't look realistic. But that's it. Hope you like this look. Let me know what you want to see next, and I'll get to it. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.